When will these mean girls get their comeuppance? Does Charlotte survive this season? We still have no Pennywise, and we do know that the military is aware of it, and they're Indiana Jones style trying to harness it. All that and more on the next episode on Binge, starting now. Welcome to Unbinged. I am Sam Holt, joined as always by Jagger May, Alfredo Brown, and Matt Kopfhamer. We are going to be talking about episode 2 of Welcome to Derry. Guys, so much to unpack in this episode, but first, let's get that spoiler warning. Jagger, how about you?
This is your one and only warning that we are going to spoil it in the entire Stephen King universe. There's racism.
Spoiler alert, there's going to be racism in this season. Guys, we wanted to talk about the military to start off this because it seems to be like the buzz that everyone is talking about. We talked about it a little bit last episode. Kopf, I'll kick it to you because you were not excited about the way that this was shaping up. But clearly, the military is aware of it. Not necessarily Pennywise, but some level of power here buried deep in the earth. Again, Indiana Jones style. And they're looking to harness that against the Russians. How do you feel about this? It's obviously going to be taking a huge chunk of the show direction, at least for the adults in this. And you had a very specific opinion about it last week.
Yeah, this reminds me of that meme with the detective from Glass Onion where he's like, "This is just dumb." She's like, "It's so dumb, it's brilliant." And he's like, "No, it's just fucking dumb." Like this whole military subplot, I wrote the 3 words that took me out of the show so hard were a damaged amygdala. And immediately I was like, God damn it. We're going to go with the man who has no fear versus it. This is the dumbest subplot they could have possibly taken for the military trying to win the Cold War. And they're messing with forces they don't understand, and they're digging and blah, 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 blah. I rolled my eyes so hard I fell asleep rewatching it last night. Because this subplot to me is just so antithesis to what the book was about and the themes of, Pennywise came to this town and he basically grew the town up around him as a feeding pen. And his influence is so strong that people literally have amnesia when they leave Derry and they forget everything about his influence over this town. So to have an outside force like the U.S. military come in and say, we're going to dig this up and we're going to weaponize this force that we don't understand other than it can kill people with fear. Like, what do they expect to do? Find Pennywise, strap into a rocket and shoot him over the USSR and hope he kills them instead? Like, I'm so out on this subplot that the rest of the show unfortunately suffers for me. I was loving everything with Ronnie, with Lily, with everything with the kids, and then this subplot where they're gonna try to weaponize Pennywise just makes me so fucking angry. I can't even get over myself.
I'm so glad we got that out because I knew it was bugging you. But Alfredo, you're shaking your head, and I have some opinions myself of this subplot. I want to hear your take.
I mean, damn, Kopf. Like, who pissed in your Cheerios this morning, man? Like,
Annie Michelle.
No, this does not bother me like the way it does with you. First of all, the military making good decisions in a movie or TV show. Get the fuck on with that, man. Like, that never happens. It's always about finding power and weapons. Also, this is a problem that we have with movies and TV is we always say, we want something new. We want something creative. The second we start to stray away a little bit from source material, we get mad that it's not the source material. This is so far a good story. It was a good episode of TV that is standing on its own. I'm not upset by this. I'm actually glad that we get to see something new. We're seeing a different side of people from outside of Derry, adults within Derry. It's not just, hey, ball up top, let's run it back with 5 kids fighting a clown. It's something new, but still gives me all the same flavors of the It movies.
It is something new, and I do feel like that it has to call on to some other things. And even on actually the podcast that happens after the episode, they did mention the Indiana Jones-ness of this plot. And that was kind of interesting to me. But I do feel like how else would you expect them to bring more into the world and the world building of this? Jagger, you clocked this last episode that the attack on Hanlon was definitely something more than just, trying to see who knows what. So I want to hear your take on when that was unveiled to us.
I mean, to me, it was like I told you guys what was obvious. Like the guy was asking specific information that someone like what I gathered, I know it's not true. He's basically a fucking mechanic or a janitor, like a nobody. He wouldn't have known any of that information. And I just don't trust authority figures. But I'm going to put it this way. I'm in between all of you guys. Where Kopf, you already were coming in hot in the group chat. And I was just like, like, I don't like this. This seems like, we're getting like the supercharged extreme Kopf. And I want to come in reasonable because it seemed very obvious from episode 1 that we're going to get this military setup. But the more I think about it, it's a little fucking dumb. It's a little bit dumb. I'm not saying I don't trust it. I'm open to it. And we need it. Hear me out, Kopf. Here's why I say I'm in the middle. We need some way to get rid of this base. Because we know the base happens and it goes away. Not everything can just blow up in a fire, especially a military base. So I think by plot convenience, we have to have a little bit of, whatever the fuck this is. So that's where I'm at with it. I'm open to it. James Remar in anything is normally a sign of cheapness since Dexter. And maybe they like gave James Remar for this role. It's just like, hey, this is going to suck. Here's your warning. Let's just get past it.
You know what? You might be right. And honestly, you bring up a good point. Like, we don't see this military base in any prominence in the future iterations of the movies. So it would make sense that they try to fuck with shit they aren't aware of or know the full extent of, and then Pennywise makes them all pay. So if that's the route they go, I'll give it some leeway. But for me, it's just like, there was a military base in Derry in the novel, but it's just like a podunk, like out of the way military base that has no importance. It's just where they stuck a bunch of black soldiers because they didn't know what else to do with them. So I always roll my eyes at these like super cheesy, like the military is looking for a secret weapon. And the reason it works in Indiana Jones for me is because it was the Nazis doing it. And at the end of the day, they got their comeuppance by opening the Ark of the Covenant and having all their faces melt off. And it's because
I think we're going to get
guys.
that.
So
I think that's kind of what Jagger's leading to, though.
Right.
Yeah,
So
like,
unless the Muschietti,
They're not going to sit down and negotiate a 5-year contract with a player option with Pennywise, man. Like, it's going to go bad for the military.
Right. But so if that's the secret play is like, oh, the American military secretly the bad guys and they get their comeuppance, maybe I'll give it leeway that way. But right now, I'm totally out on this subplot.
Hot take, and I'm not being anti-American. Militaries aren't always good, and that includes America. We fuck ups. Players fuck up sometimes.
Usually Americans. Not.
Yeah, they're people. Like throughout history, we've made mistakes, and then for this one, I think it's fucking
South
with
America.
the clown, a cosmic clown. And I expect them to get it. Like James Remar gonna get it. Where I will have my pushback. I want to see Leroy become who he is now to like the cynical pig farmer. He's like, all there is pigs and we got killed. Like I want him to get real country real fast. And I just wonder, like, we need to see that. And I think this is the only way we get to see that.
To all your points, all of this has to build up to some level of everything going poorly, because we do know this isn't going to have a happy ending. Like you said, there's something that's going to happen in this military base. There's something that's going to happen to probably 95% of the characters so far in this show, as we've already heard several names that, Kopf can tell you when in the book referenced were either missing children or people that were unalived. So I definitely feel like there's a lot of things that are shaping up to not go well. But before we go into further, I just want to remind all of our lovely viewers and listeners, please make sure that you have liked and subscribed and are following us on YouTube. And make sure you check us out on everywhere that you can get your podcasts. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and literally everywhere you get your podcasts. Plus, not only are we covering It Welcome to Derry right now, but we've got Predator Badlands coming out soon, Pluribus on Apple TV, Stranger Things, and Fallout. So lots more to catch up on. Guys, I want to talk a little bit more about the military before we get into all of the other shenanigans of the show, because there were some amazing gore scenes and horror effects that were so fantastic, plus some amazing nightmare fuel that I think is going to keep a lot of people up at night. But I want to tie a bow on this quick so we can get into all of that fun stuff. Obviously, we know that Dick Halloran is searching, and part of the searching we come upon in this is, one, they discover this car, which I think that a lot of us are assuming is from the Bradley gang. And if you've read the books, you know what's coming with that. Kopf, don't worry, I'll kick that question to you. And then we also get to see, you bring up the damaged amygdala for Hanlon. we've got this now combo characters that have something special about them or something that the military deems special about them. So, Kopf, I want to kick it to you for the Bradley question first in terms of how is searching for this car going to help, or is this just, you think, because they're digging down one layer that the town is buried for Pennywise?
Yeah, I love that point that you brought up. It's almost like an archaeological dig site, again referencing Indiana Jones trying to look for the Ark. So they're basically uncovering these massive tragedies or calamities that happened throughout Derry's history that Pennywise, it strongly suggested he had a, if not direct hand, an indirect influence in these events transpiring. One of which is the Bradley Gang, which is loosely based on a real life outlaw gang that came into Bangor, Maine. But basically they come into town, they're being hunted by like the FBI or the cops for like robbing banks and stuff and killing people. And they're trying to hide out in Derry because it's this podunk out of the way town. And they go to a general store and they order a bunch of stuff that has to come in. And so then the town shopkeeper is like, he just starts telling people, he's like, hey, these people are in town, and they all just happen to independently decide to come together and wait for them on the street with their guns. And when the Bradley Gang rolls into town, all the townspeople just shoot them up. So, when it's discussed to Mike Hanlon in the book later on, when he's trying to uncover these historical events, nobody really wants to talk about it, and the only people that will are like, they were like a young kid watching it happen. And so it goes into the influence of Pennywise over the town, is he can heighten all these negative emotions to where they do something out of the ordinary, where they're shooting people in cold blood, and then the town goes back to normal afterwards. So the military talked about having these beacons or totems that are holding Pennywise in place. I don't really understand what's going on with that. I think it's more like they are just uncovering and giving us Easter eggs for future seasons. Because the Bradley Gang should be next season, and then before that, there's like an axe murdering. There's the Kitchener Ironworks. Before that, there's like an axe murderer. So there's all these events that happen throughout Derry's history that are just, when Pennywise is awake, he feeds for like 6 months to 2 years, and then it culminates into these giant calamities, and then he goes back to sleep for 27 years. It's just part of his feeding cycle. So I wonder if they're going to add on to that and expand upon that, or if it's literally, like you said, just a geological like timestamp for us as an audience.
Yeah, I want to go to Jagger next. I'm going to go in order of those that read the book. Sorry, Alfredo, you're going to go after Jagger. In terms of what that does for you and the unveiling of that moment, Jag, how did you feel in terms of how Halloran was using his gift and how that kind of unfolded? Because I do feel like part of me agrees with you, Kopf, that this is just a pinpoint. We did get a shot of this in the new intro that we all saw, the fun little cartoon where we actually see Pennywise hanging out of a window and shooting into this exact car. So Jagger, how did that land for you in terms of tying together all of these moments from that to push forward?
I have a weird comp. It reminds me a little bit of what Netflix has going with Ryan Murphy with all his serial killer, like his monster series. This like, I want an event that I know happens, but I get to see it. Yeah. Like I saw the Menendez brothers. I know it happens. I know the end of it, but I get to see the details and see how it plays out and see the characters. So having these tie-ins and lead backs all the way through is something that's nice for me, and it gives me something to look forward to, you know? And I think that's a really nice way to do TV, because this can last 3 or 4 seasons and we're not worried about a tired plot or sticking a landing. You know, we just have one season. Let's kill these motherfuckers and go back. And then let's get this season. Let's kill these motherfuckers and go back. Like, all right, let's go one more time. Let's kill these motherfuckers and go back. You know, like that. I'm okay with that formula right now. And I know that sounds messed up, you know, and, to quote Jackson Lamb, for like, I just, all I need from this show is, from the event, is the 4 F's. Who the fuck, why, or excuse me, the 5 F's. Who the fuck, why the fuck, where the fuck, how the fuck. So that's the 5 F's.
It's definitely
the
4.
fifth one.
Was it 4?
The 5th one. Go fuck yourself. That's 5. Yes, you set me up for the joke. Yes.
So happy. He's so happy.
Amazing. All right, Alfredo, who did not do the homework? How did this play out for you? Because you did not necessarily see maybe all of these things coming in terms of story building. So I want to know how that reveal worked for you.
No, if anything, like I thought that car might have been the car from the opening sequence where that
I did
nuclear
too.
family, and
Yep.
like I was just like, ah, okay, but then I'm like, they're
Did you see the
really
one
decomposed.
skeleton with a dollar bill shoved in its mouth in the back?
I don't know what the fuck that family's into, man. Like I don't know what happened towards the end.
Go buy yourself something pretty.
Wasn't the mom calling the daughter like her own little harlot? Got to keep those legs closed. I was like, I don't know what the fuck there. Weirder things have happened in the Pennywise universe. Okay, honestly, like all I started thinking about was like with how much they're struggling at these dig sites. I was just like, damn, you have the resources of the U.S. military. You've got a clairvoyant man with special gifts, and they're struggling to figure out where Pennywise is. And you gave Bill Denbrough a map of the sewage system. He's like, got it. Everyone, come to my garage. I figured it out in like 30 minutes. That's the only part where I'm just like, maybe they kind of suck and they deserve to die. Like, that's where I'm at.
So they suck.
Yeah.
Military incompetence? No way.
Yeah.
But I will say, I gotta laugh, man. Like, I have to really ignore some shit to not like get upset, because like literally right now we got James Remar coming in with like Amanda Waller. It's like, I'm building a team and it's just magical black men, you know. It's just
Which
like,
is a Stephen King trope. So
I
you
know,
fair enough.
that's what I'm saying.
Fair
That's like, it's like that little bit of Stephen King. It's like, he's not quite racist, maybe just ignorant, you know.
Which I know I'm jumping ahead, but speaking of magical black men, if we get to see any sort of inside of Shawshank Redemption,
What a transition. What a
Are we
transition,
gonna
Cuff.
are we gonna get a cameo from Red from Shawshank Redemption, the book or the movie? In the movie he's black, in the book he's white. Timeline wise, it adds up. So I'm just saying, I'm excited for some of these cameos.
Literally, I was gonna say, man, I was just like, we're gonna build a team. It's like we got No Fear Hanlon, we got Dick Halloran to feel stuff. It's like, over
John
here,
Coffey.
we need someone to explain shit. Give me Morgan Freeman stats. It's like I got this black man with the janitor who gives kids advice when they have a tough time. Bring him in. We're gonna throw wave after wave of black men at this fucking the clown. You know, that's just, I've really got to not think about that shit when I watch it sometimes. It's Suicide Squad, magical black men.
What was the movie that came out with Justice Smith and David Alan Grier?
Oh yeah, the Society of Magical Black Men.
Yeah.
This is just if that movie was fucking good, you know.
Okay. I feel like we got a lot out with that, unless you guys have any final points you want to make sure we don't miss when it comes to this military subplot.
We need a black
The only
lady.
thing-
We do need a black lady to like round this team out. Sorry, you can go on, Sam.
The only-
Figures.
It's my
Yeah, I
only
was like,
thing
I
I
know
wanna-
Octavia Spitzer's available.
The only thing I want to add is they may
Yes.
be setting up future like cinematic tie-ins to other projects. For example, one of the photos that he showed when he's looking at the people that attacked him, they had the mask and the black mask and all that. That is very clearly a reference to Dreamcatcher and the Blue Boy group or Blue Boy unit or whatever they want to call it that hunt aliens. Yeah, and God, what a terrible movie! I rewatched over the weekend. It's horrible. So they may be tying in future projects to tie into this to create like a Stephen King cinematic television universe. That's
Yeah.
something I want to add.
Yeah.
an SCU, an SKCU.
I'm in.
All right. I want to get back to these kids. But before we do that, we'll take a little break and we'll come right back. All right, guys. We got to talk about these kids. I kind of love that this episode started off with the flashback from Lily's perspective completely of everything that happened in the theater, because it adds to the level that these kids are going to be reliving this trauma until they're not around anymore. And what was so interesting to me is the entire camera angle is swinging all from her perspective, and then you wake up and she's having this nightmare. There's a theme of nightmares, I feel like, in this episode, and we'll get to Ronnie's horrible nightmare in a minute, but I want to talk about Lily and what she's been going through. And she's clearly someone that's trying to process all of these things while also processing, what happened with her dad. And I have this question, and I kind of want to throw it to you first, Alfredo, on this one. It feels like her feelings about getting put back in that hospital, or she experienced another level of trauma there. And I feel like Pennywise was tormenting her back then as well. Did you get that feeling too?
Well, I mean, it depends, right? Like when she was in that hospital and when he's actually out and active, right? Like he goes on the IR for about 27 years, and then how long is he out? How many?
6 months to 2 years, according to our, nerd cough.
6 months to 2 years. Okay, so yeah, I mean, it depends, right? Like if he was out on parole at that time and she was in Juniper Hills and
starting to grow and
sure.
creep around.
Yeah, sure. Like that's very possible. The one thing that I noticed from this, and I'm curious to see how that's going to expand when we go to Juniper Hills, is that Pennywise seems to be stronger here than we ever saw in at least for me, because I haven't read the books, in the movies. And I'm wondering how much of that is because these are kids with real life trauma. We only ever got a taste of that with Mike Hanlon and his trauma with his parents. A lot of the kids from the Losers Club didn't have real trauma. It was like, oh, well, I get bullied, or I'm scared of certain things. I'm afraid of clowns. I lost my brother. But these are kids that have like seen things, real things. And this girl Lily having her father chopped up, and now with Ronnie having her mother die at birth, her father taken away. Like the trauma is building up so much in their real life that their fears are like on steroids at this point. It's so much easier for Pennywise to be scarier than ever before.
Well, I think in the books, the Losers Club definitely experienced quite a bit of trauma. Like there was a whole bunch of things that happened with Beverly's character that they did not get into in the movies. But I want to stick with...
But before Pennywise, or like at that time?
It was all
Before
building up, all before
yeah.
Pennywise. So she had experienced a specific amount of trauma before all of that. And so there was, I think, a few things that they had to water down for the movies because they couldn't get to everything. Even in the second movie with her husband, they didn't put in half the stuff that was in the book, which was pretty wild. But I want to stick with Lily and this scene that we build up from her waking up from her nightmare, trying to move past it, and then being haunted by Pennywise and it in the grocery store. Jagger, how do you like pickles? Because for myself, I've never been a fan, but after watching this episode, I never want to try a pickle.
Man, I'm from the South. I've helped slaughter a pig. I've seen some shit in weird jars all the time. I'm like the white Schrute guys. Like I'm pretty immune to weird shit like that. It's just like it's like, oh, like you got yourself a pickled hand. I haven't had one of those in years. No, I'm just kidding. But like I could basically what I'm saying is I could still fuck with pickles. And if I have to judge trauma, oh homegirl reliving her birth gotta be worse. Like the fucked up pickle thing is scary,
Yeah.
But I love the way that Pennywise with these kids, I feel like he gaslights them more than the rest of them. Like the future Losers Club, they kind of contain that trauma in like their own little group. But now you got Lily, it's just like I'm seeing shit that like, oh sure, it's like she's already started. Get that lobotomy ready once she's 18. Am I right? Like that's kind of where they're at already with it. And I really worry for him because I think I find going to like shout out to Pluribus if you've seen that trailer, like Juniper Hill, going to that I almost found scarier than the pickle jar stuff. I'm also not a little girl and I know it's a movie, so it's hard for me to say.
Sure. I mean, and then you've also got just that scene I thought was really beautifully done in terms of how it suddenly became a maze and it was beginning to trap her in this grocery store. They mentioned it in the podcast that I thought was really interesting, that it was very theatrical. And that was that was pretty intentional by Andy Muschietti. Him and his sister are like, we really need to do a musical. I'm like, and he's like, yeah, but it never works. Like, cause it just turns into horror because though they can't do like a true full on musical. And I know that you like musicals, Jag. So in terms of how that kind of song and dance went around, and then you had the characters that were just leaning in from the side with the creepy smile. I felt like that was so interesting the way that they set it up. Kopf, for you, when you watched it start to escalate, I mean, we all can tell when Pennywise is about to unveil himself. Were you hoping we were going to get a clown after all of this shiftiness?
No, I'm not Alfredo. I'm okay with them waiting a few more episodes to reveal him in his full glory, because I think that's going to be better. It's going to be worth the wait. Like, we already got him in clown form in the movie, so if you want to see his clown form, just watch the movie again. I like how
Cool.
he is doing.
I went to a Lakers game. I want to watch Kobe. It's cool. He'll play in the fourth quarter. No, bitch. I want Kobe the
I
whole
got bad
game.
news for you, buddy. I got bad news for you.
Okay.
Don't make me
Okay.
sad.
Let's. Nope. Don't do that.
He's retired.
Nope.
He's retired. So
Keep it going.
anyway.
Keep it going. I'm saving you from yourself.
I like this cat and mouse game that Pennywise is doing, because it goes to show, like, there's a part I keep going back to the book because I love the book. There's a part in the book where we get an inside look into Pennywise's head, and it's after the Loser Club kind of hurt him, and he is shocked and surprised, or it is shocked and surprised that they were able to hurt him. This is a novel experience, and he fucking hates it. So this is at a time period before he realizes, like, he can be hurt or he's not immune. So he is just at his full glory, just having a great old time, fucking with kids and eating them. So he is pulling out all the stops because he is bored. Like, there's a part where it's like, I'm a little bored with this. So this is him entertaining himself before he eats. So I like seeing this little cat and mouse game.
He's flipping his pancakes. He's like doing fucking
Yep.
like sushi tricks, like look, like my rice is heart shaped, like he's gotten so good.
He's entertaining himself before he eats. Whereas when the Losers Club finally fights back, he's like, I fucked up. I gave him a little too much leeway. And that's when you see he, as adults, he goes a little harder at them to try to get them. But by then he's underestimated them
So
again. And
you're saying that he's a Benihana chef?
Thing.
Yeah,
Benihana chef that by the time he got to the
chef.
Losers Club, he's like, I've done the onion volcano enough times. Like, here you go.
He tried to do the shrimp in the pocket and he missed.
And it fell.
He's
Yeah,
like,
I got
he's
it.
like,
So
fuck. It's like,
Become a lazy Benihana chef.
Yeah. He's a 35-year vet and he's like, I'm so tired of doing this shit.
by the way, if you ever flip shrimp in my pocket, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you. Like, like you're gonna put shellfish in my shirt? Get the fuck out of here! Who thought that was a good idea?
Back to the kids. So we watch Lily get interrogated by the police. We see one cop that says he doesn't want to put Ronnie's dad in jail because he doesn't have enough evidence. But as we know and hear from the other
Chief
cop,
Bowers?
Yeah, I was about to say, can we
Police
say
Chief
who
Bowers?
that is?
Chief Bowers, yeah, that this is
granddaddy.
Derry, and so the law is not the same here. Ends up interrogating her again and getting her to illicit or not.
The word is
completely say-
coerced.
Coerced, yes. Sorry. Thank you for walking me through this stuff.
Cough feels some sort of way during this.
I know
show,
you
man.
do.
You want to mansplain host and cough?
Yeah.
Let's get it out.
I almost
I feel like
chess
all
the
of
other
us-
night, so I'm a little.
I feel like all of us need to
to
just
calm
take a step
down.
back and let Cough cook for 30 minutes. Just walk away from the pod.
You
I
need
could
to
host
like
this by
a.
myself, like honestly.
Wow. Okay.
All right,
cool.
cowherd.
Cool.
All right, let's block him out, guys. Let's
problem.
box him out. Cough
right.
time out now.
Try to stop me.
I was just saying, trying to.
What is this
transition
show gonna do for Pennywise's legacy? Sorry, Sam.
Anyways, I'm trying to transition us somewhat gracefully. It's not going well. Thanks, guys. From Lily to talk about Ronnie and her dad and how, unfortunately, Lily was coerced to get Ronnie's dad taken to prison. And Ronnie's now dealing with this. But before they have that horrible fight, and you know it's going to be resolving itself because it has to finish out this season, Ronnie has this horrible nightmare where she is back in her mother's womb. And we are aware that her mom died at childbirth, but we don't really know a ton more than that. This is just one of those amazing things I think that Andy Muschietti can do with a tiny bit of plot and then just get super creative. Apparently this scene took months for them to film all of the elements for. That was a fun little thing on the podcast that I heard, that it took almost a year to film every single element from all of this. So this poor little actress is covered in amniotic sac fluid for months at a time, going back and forth. What an incredible scene. Alfredo, I want to kick this to you first because you're making the most faces about it. How it took the moment when you're a kid and you're scared of something and you put the sheet over your head and you just think, but maybe it's just outside. This took that to another level.
Yeah, there's a lot of moments for. I'm gonna keep going back to the movie. One because like that's what I'm comfortable with, and two, I do think there's a lot of people watching this have not read the books and they're just coming here because of the movies with Bill Skarsgård. And there's a lot of times where in the movies the kids just close their eyes and they go, "It's not real, it's not real, it's not real," and then it wasn't, right, and it ends. And then every once in a while you get like the little jump scare where Pennywise is still there when they open their eyes. This was just a continuation of like it just did not stop, and it just kept traumatizing Ronnie even further. What I found interesting though is like kind of if and when Pennywise chooses to make it continue to be real to that child's eyes. Like for example, we talk about Beverly and her bathroom getting covered in blood and the whole Losers Club comes over and they clean up the whole thing. But then you've got this room where it's like once it was over, she looks and it's like, oh, everything's back to normal, right? And so it's just like I'm actually curious to see if there is a process or a reasoning or as to like why he chooses to do things. Like maybe Ronnie's already more scared and it's easy to just leave it like that, and he just wants to leave. He wants to leave Beverly with that lasting impression of like, this is real and I don't want you to forget about it. So that's what I'm curious about, and like learning a little bit more about like how he's picking and choosing these things. I doubt we're gonna get that, but I just thought that was really interesting.
That's a really good point.
Maybe it's a skill thing too. He's like he's like he didn't know how to leave blood. Like now he's like, there's some magical blood, and that's even like more terror. He's like, I got these kids cleaning up fake shit now. He's just sitting back, just like
laughing,
just total,
just trolling the hell out of these kids. It's great.
Yeah, just watching his own tape. He's just like that Willem Dafoe meme where he's just like sitting in front of his own painting, just watching his own work. Like back then, he didn't know how to leave placenta all over the wall, but like with Beverly, he fucking got her at that point.
Or it could be like that the losers group was already so connected and he needed to traumatize them together in that group too. And we don't necessarily have that unification yet. And if anything, they've ended up divided at the end of this because obviously Ronnie's pissed at Lily for whatever she said to the cops that would get her dad in jail. Kopf, how do you feel about not only this scene, but this setting us up for her trauma, maybe launching her back into trying to find Pennywise, because they have a lot of detective nuances in this episode too.
As messed up as it's gonna sound, this was my favorite scene of the show. The subversion, you said, of Lily pulling the cover over her head, trying to find a safe space, and then having that turn very quickly into the subversion of the safe space of your mother's womb. Like that is when you are most protected and most like safe, if you will, because you're not outside into the world yet. Like your mother is literally protecting you with her body, feeding you all this stuff, and the subversion of that to turn it into a drowning scene I thought was brilliant. And then having her literally get rebirthed and then terrorized by the specter of her own mother, who is taunting her about like the future of your father. He's gonna fry, he's gonna go to like that. To me was the hands down best scene of the show. And I cannot give enough kudos to the actress who plays Ronnie, because she played it so convincingly that I forgot I was watching a television show for a second. I was like, holy crap, this is another level of acting. And especially when you consider like child actors, like a lot of times it's hard to get this kind of emotionality, this kind of like true performance out of a kid actor. So just kudos to her for being able to do this scene, and like you said, for it to take months to shoot and get it correct, like that is incredible to me. So I love how they subverted that safety net of not only your childhood bed but also the womb, and then turning that into a source of trauma again and re-traumatizing this character again. Just goes to show, like, unfortunately, I don't think Ronnie survives. And again, another book spoiler, she is one of the names that is mentioned along with Maddie Clements, who dies in the same cycle as like Georgie Denbrough. So I don't think she lasts this season.
Alfredo, you got the spoiler alert earlier.
Not a book bitch, like
that is a little bit of
that's the whole, it's the whole universe.
He's like,
let's be a little more delicate.
Yeah,
like, there's a lot of people watching that like that kind of ruins it for me a little bit.
No, I don't think it does.
I was being racist. I was hoping that her and Will got together because they're the only two black kids in town.
My wife said the same thing, and then she turns to me. She's like,
the only two in detention.
Racist because they're the only two black kids that we've seen so far. And I was like, honestly, I like their chemistry. It kind of works.
Low key back in the day, that's just you kind of had to. Like, I have options now. I had choices, but it's like that episode of South Park where like Cartman's trying to get the only two black kids together. It's like, you guys go together.
I'm watching my man Rich, little Cuban boy. It's like 3'8", just fawning over the white girls. Sorry, bro. It's not gonna happen, man.
Gotta wait
Stay away. White girls are the devil.
Just give them an empanada. They'll fall for you. It'll be fine.
Oy.
Jagger, how about for you watching all of this trauma? I mean, I think it was also interesting, Koff, you say that the actress was so into the scene and how it really took us to another place. There was an interview that the actor that plays Dick Halloran, Chris Chalk, said he was watching some of the scenes asides and he was trying not to spoil it, but I have the feeling it was this exact scene. He said he asked Andy, he said, did you speed this up? Because it looked like the frame rate was sped up. And he said, I didn't. That's just how into the scene this actress was. And she completely nailed this superhuman level of fear and terror that she's experiencing. And I think it's an incredible scene. Jag, when you watch this compared to the pickle scene, because you said you weren't exactly scared of that one, how did it compare?
Kopf said it, man. Being in a grocery store, that's how I feel every day going in a grocery store. I'm like, I can't get out. There's these creepy ass white people staring. Like that's just
Don't
a
go
fucking
to IKEA,
Tuesday.
man. It's the same.
Yeah, it's just a
More of a
Tuesday.
maze. Yeah.
Yeah. I used to accept drugs from strangers at music festivals, and Walmart is just a fucking horror fest for me now. Like, I just can't do it. But like being at home in your safe space, in your room, and then it switches. Because like, Kopf, you didn't even say the hard part out loud. Her mom died in childbirth. So it's feeding off further guilt, because let's just put the layers on here. Ronnie feels guilty that her dad is going to go to jail. On top of that, she feels implicated, or she didn't do enough regardless, because she was involved somehow and they just worked. That's on top of that. She killed her mom in childbirth because black women, especially back then, you know, they didn't get the care they deserved. Even if they did have care, it wasn't. They just got less of it. Statistics, guys. Sorry. So that's just layers of horror. Then you got claustrophobia, drowning. Like, you want to talk about just the scariest, worst case scenario. I don't know anything scarier than that, than being trapped in your own bed and transported into your mother's womb. That's just fucking, like, say that out loud, man. I love that it like fix the horrors of 28 years later. They're like, look how beautiful childbirth is. Like, or it's like, no, this shit is fucking terror, guys. This is a war.
Oh, I forgot about the birth scene in 28 years later.
Yeah, no, it's that's such an interesting pull. But not only she rips herself out of there, but then she has to bite her own umbilical cord as well to escape. That was just another level that I wasn't ready for. But to the same point, this is
Gangsta.
this is why we also love Andy Muschietti for all that he does, because he doesn't leave anything on the table. He doesn't cut to black when he could. I mean, not necessarily. It's so good.
Like with the Flash, you know, just I had to say it.
Ouch.
Can I bring up something? Can we talk about Charlotte really quick? Because that's a character we haven't talked about, and she had such a big, like a prominent role in this.
Yeah.
Yep.
I feel like she's actually the perfect vessel for the audience in this. Not necessarily kids, because they're going to be seeing so much, and not necessarily anything going on at the military base, because she's stuck right in between. She's stuck right in between for the audience, and we kind of get that happy medium with her where we get to see something that's not always creepy, but we do get to say, what the fuck, a lot as we're looking around the city. And I know that was one of the things we teased in this opener. It's like, is she going to survive? How does she make it through this? I have no idea, but I'm going to say this. I really, really like this. There's something about her on camera. I'm drawn to it. She's extremely charismatic.
She's the litmus test, dude.
Yeah.
Like right now, she's not getting haunted by kids. She's just a normal person that's like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Like, she just kind of like walks.
See that often with adults, like walking around this town going like, hey, this place is kind of fucked.
Yeah.
So two Stephen King deep cuts. So 11/22/63, there's a character that visits Derry and actually interacts with Beverly and Richie, and he's like, the fuck is wrong with this town? Like, this feeling, like there's this dark feeling that you get when you enter Derry. So that's what Charlotte's experiencing. And then two, the word char, CHAR, in Stephen King, he has mentioned it, especially in the Dark Tower series, that means death. So like there's a character called Charlie the Choo Choo, and then there's Char-Yu-Chi, and it basically, there's these theories that char, that root word, means death. So if that is a deep cut from the machetes, I don't think she's going to survive, or she may cause the death
I like
of
her
someone
too
along
much.
the
She's
way.
gonna die for sure. She's not making it out. She's way too likable of a character.
Yeah. Well, if she's
Right.
also supposed
And-
to be the voice of
and we
reason.
hear right, and we hear her husband Leroy call her Char, like as a nickname. So I think that was a very purposeful deep cut by the machetes to be a nod towards I don't think she's going to survive, and that's one of the reasons Leroy, as an older man, is like nothing fucking matters.
Very fair in terms of him having to be broken down, Jag.
I was gonna say Stephen King. That homie was cooking when the cocaine was pure. When it comes to like deep cuts and shit.
Stephen King cooking with the cocaine. Should we end the show there? We ended it very fun last week.
Yeah, there we go. There it is. That's the bookend right there. I started with cocaine and we end with cocaine.
It all comes back to cocaine.
It all comes back to. Well, that'll do it for us on Unbinged, covering the second episode of It. Welcome to Derry, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss next week. We'll cover episode 3, and later this week, we've got Predator Badlands coming out. We are all extremely amped up, so make sure you check that out. We're going to be watching that Thursday night. I think all of us have bought our tickets, and so check out for that episode coming out on Friday. Have a wonderful week, and we will see you next week.